Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be bringing you guys my post-free agency Washington football team 2021 NFL mock draft. We will be doing 4 rounds, so make sure you guys stick till the end to see who I end up picking. And if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so let's start with our first round pick, and the Washington football team could go, a bunch of different options right here, but in free agency, they got their guy in Curtis Samuel, who can be their slot receiver and can go on the outside. They got, Adam Humphries as well, who can be their slot receiver, so I doubt they get a receiver in the first round unless someone who's, supposed to go in the top 10 somehow, slips to us, then maybe they could do it. But I do see them, either drafting a linebacker, a tackle, or maybe a different position. And right here, there aren't any great linebackers available, but there is a tackle that I really like. And, out of Virginia Tech, a lot of you guys probably know his name, and that is Christian Darrisaw. Christian Darrisaw is here at 15, and I know a lot of people don't like the idea of the Washington football team drafting a tackle at 19, but here's why it might make sense. I really like Cornelius Lucas, I really do, but he's a free agent after this season, and he played pretty well last year, but it was only for a little bit of time. He did get hurt also, and he's going to be a free agent. And you don't know, that was really his first year of playing solid football. You don't know if that's going to be able to extend to this season. Also, left tackle is probably the third most important position in football. So if you have the chance to get an elite left tackle in the draft, you definitely do it. And also, one thing that factors into it is Sadiq Charles. I thought he was going to be more of a left tackle, but apparently, according to John Keim, they think he can play tackle, but they think he's going to be a better guard. So if Sadiq Charles, if they thought he could play left tackle at a really good level, then I probably would go a different position here. But I think you draft Christian Darrisaw, especially since there aren't any great linebackers available here. If there were some better ones, I would go ahead and take him. And you look at Christian Darrisaw, he's about 6'4", 315 pounds. He's from the area, from Maryland, and played at Virginia Tech. You guys can look at some of his, strengths and weaknesses here in one of his draft profiles. Pretty athletic. Their NFL comparison was Russell Okung, who was drafted pretty highly. And I really like Darrisaw. He's a pretty high character guy. Martin Mayhew and Marty Herney both went to his pro day, I think on Friday. So they are interested in him, and they did meet with him at the pro day. So I think it would be a good fit in DC. So now let's get on to the second round pick. And one last thing about Darrisaw, he has really good traits, and we have one of the best offensive line coaches who did a really good job with our offensive line last year. So I do believe in him, to develop Christian Darrisaw. So now on to the second round pick, and part of the reason why I did draft a tackle in the first round is because this is a very deep linebacker class, and there are a bunch of really good linebackers that we could draft in the second or third round to improve our team. One of them is Jamin Davis, Jabril Cox, and Pete Werner from Ohio State. Jamin Davis is probably not going to be here. I saw a couple mock drafts with him in the late first round. Some have him in the third, but from a lot of the NFL scouts, they have him really high. Daniel Jeremiah was a former NFL scout. He had him in the late first round. But, if he's here, I would definitely take him. Or if he is not here, I would go ahead and take Jabril Cox. This linebacker class is really deep. The tackle class is too, but the linebacker class is much deeper. So I'm going to take Davis right here out of Kentucky. If you look at his stats, he's really rangy. 89 tackles this past season. 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 2 interceptions. He's about 6'4", 235 pounds. So he has the ideal body for an NFL linebacker. He's more of a will linebacker, but he's a little raw. He has one really good year of production, and he again has some good traits, and I think he is going to be one of the steals of this draft. So I'd really like us to take a look at him. If he's there in the second round, definitely. If not, I would like someone like Jabril Cox, one of those two. I think linebacker, though, we got to pick a linebacker either in the first or second round to improve this linebacking core. Okay, so now with our first third round pick, and we could go, a few different positions here. We could go safety, but there aren't really any great safeties available here. We could go cornerback. We could possibly go receiver. I would probably hold on till a little bit later in the draft to go for receiver. I really think we need some tight end depth, and I really wish Brevin Jordan was here, but he is not. That's a possibility, maybe in the second round. That might be a little bit too high, but that would be a great pick if we could get him. But he's not here. Hunter Long is the best available tight end. He's, played college at Boston College. And, the big thing with the tight end position here with Washington is that, Logan Thomas is a free agent after this season. So you want someone, at least, you definitely want to bring Logan Thomas back, but in case you can't bring him back, you want someone that you can at least, that has some potential to be a really good tight end. He's about 6'5", 253 pounds, and like I said, played for Boston College. This past season had 57 catches for 685 yards. 12 yards per catch and 5 touchdowns. Got better every single year, which is what you like to see. He's still young, was a junior, so it might take him a little bit of time to develop, but I think, after a year or so, he could, emerge as a really good pass catching threat for Washington to pair alongside Logan Thomas, or if Logan Thomas decides to leave and we can't pay him, then Hunter Long could emerge as our starting tight end. Okay, so now with our third round pick, and there aren't any great options, but I do think we could still add some cornerback depth. We did sign Darryl Roberts, but I think that's just depth, and Tyson Campbell could provide depth, but he also, obviously, you're picking him in the third round, provides some really good upside, and he could possibly end up being a starter eventually. So I really would like to possibly draft a cornerback on day 2 or day 3, and Tyson Campbell is a really good option for us out of Georgia. This past year, had about 26 tackles, 4 passes, defended, 1 interception, 40 total yards, but also he does provide some return, capabilities. He had 1 touchdown in 2019 and 2018 returning, so could be an option right there. I do like him, 6'2", 185 pounds, and has upside. You not sit him for a year, but he doesn't have to start right away. He can, come in the rotation, start. You can have William Jackson, Kendall Fuller, and Jimmy Moreland as your starters and rotate Tyson Campbell in. So I would like this pick, and in general, wouldn't be upset if we drafted a cornerback maybe on late day 2, early day 3. Okay, so now into the 4th round, and I do think the Washington football team will draft a quarterback in the mid rounds if they really like one, and I personally like Davis Mills, and I do think they would be interested in him if he was here. I'm not sure if he will be. Could be taken in the 3rd round, could be taken in the 4th round. I think that is kind of his range. He isn't super athletic, but he's mobile enough, which is good. 6'4", 225 pounds, moves really well in the pocket, which is, what you want. Is good in the short to intermediate passing game, which is what, Curtis Samuel thrives in. Terry McLaurin really likes the yards after catch, and, Davis Mills is good with that. He can get Terry those yards after catch opportunities. I like him. That he's super competitive, a good leader, and I think that's what Washington and Ron Rivera want in a quarterback. This past season, 66% completion percentage, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. They didn't obviously play their full season because of everything going on, so Could have obviously would have had more stats if they would have played a full season, but I think it would be a solid signing. Not much of a running threat, but is mobile enough in the pocket. And like I said, that is what you want. You can sit him behind Fitzpatrick for a year or so. But if they did do that, they would have to probably cut Kyle Allen, or maybe even Taylor Heineke, but it would probably be Kyle Allen because of the salary. So that is my mock draft. I think it was pretty solid. We got a premier left tackle that could be a franchise left tackle for us for years to come. We got a really good linebacker in Jamin Davis out of Kentucky. We got a solid cornerback, and we got a quarterback, and obviously a tight end as well. So let me know what you guys think. I appreciate you guys for watching.